Alright, hello, citizens of the Nigelverse. Is Nigel here once again, and welcome back to the Labyrinth. The first episode of Dixie Steps from the Labyrinth within the new year. And we're starting off in a big way this year because we are going to be reading Shakespeare's Macbeth. So, if you remember, previously we read Romeo and Juliet from Shakespeare, but now we're continuing our reading series when it comes to Macbeth. A couple things before we begin. First of all, this is going to be the entire play, and this is courtesy of the Folger Shakespeare Library. So I will link them in the description, but also, oh, I'll link it so that you can click on it and go check them out, as well as follow along with me with your own copy of the reading. This will be just like school, well, except don't worry, there's no test, I promise. But the other thing is that just like Romeo and Juliet, this also has 5 acts. So we're gonna do 5 episodes of Tales from the Labyrinth, reading the whole thing and the whole play. The other thing, of course, is before we get into that, if you have anything else you want me to read for Nigel Successful Labyrinth, because of course we've opened up the forbidden door, or if you will, now to include stories as well, like short stories or even long stories like this, where you can do like reading series like what we did with Romeo and Juliet, and now what we're doing with Macbeth. So if you have any of those, any recommendations of those, please feel free to let me know about them in the comments, and I'll definitely be sure to check them out. And the other thing is that we're going to kind of switch up the formula a bit. So if you remember last time, I read the synopsis because thankfully the play has both at least the text that they have here is both the synopsis and then the actual scene, like all the dialogue within the scene. However, I think this time we're gonna flip it around, and I think this will be kind of what we do going forward, where we will read. We'll read the text first, then the synopsis, then expound upon the synopsis. I kind of did it in reverse order. I read the synopsis, then I read the text, then we expounded upon what we read. But I think I'll do it the other way. And let me know which format you guys prefer, and let me know which one is working better or worse. And I'm going to adjust my camera slightly to make myself a bit more centered. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. And yeah, oh, um, so he started off here, or Act One, on so it starts off, and of course first I'll be telling you when different characters will be saying different things. So we'll have so we have a few characters here. So I'll tell you when the different characters say the different things. Things, of course. So starting off with the first scene here, it says, "Thunder and lightning enter the three witches." So that's the sound effect. Then enter the three witches. And the first witch says, "When shall we three meet again? In thunder, lightning, or in rain?" And the second witch says, "When the hurly burly's done, when the battle's lost and won." And the third witch says, "That will be ere the set of sun." And the first witch says, "Where the place?" And the second witch says, "Upon the heath." The third witch says, "There to meet with Macbeth." And the first witch says, "I come, grey Malkin." The second witch says, "Paddock calls." And the third witch says, "Anon." And all say, so this is all three of them, they say, "Fair is foul, and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air." And they exit. So pretty much the synopsis is that the three witches plan to meet Macbeth, which pretty much is what happens. So, not a long scene. He kind of just establishing the three witches and that they're going to meet with Macbeth, and we'll see what happens when Macbeth does meet with them. So now let's move into scene two. It says, "Alarum within. Enter King Duncan Malcolm. Enter King Duncan Malcolm. Donald Bane, Lennox with attendants, meeting a bleeding captain." And and Duncan starts off saying, "What bloody man is that? He can report, as seemeth by his plight, of the revolt, the new estate." And Malcolm says, "This is the sergeant, who, like a good and hardy soldier, fought gainst my captivity. Hail, O brave friend! Say to the king the knowledge of the broil, as thou didst leave it. And the captain says, doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together, and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald, worthy to be a rebel, for to that the multiplying villainies of nature do swarm upon him. From the western isles, of kerns and gallows glasses is supplied, and fortune, and on his damned quarrel smiling, showed like a rebel's whore. But all's too weak, for brave Macbeth, well he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, which smoked with bloody execution, like valor's minion, carved out his passage, till he faced the slave, which ne'er shook hands, nor bade farewell to him, till he unseamed him from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements. And Duncan says, O valiant cousin, worthy gentleman. And the captain says, as whence the sun gins his reflection, shipwracking storms and direful thunders break, so from that spring whence comfort seemed to come, discomfort swells. Mark, King of Scotland, mark, no sooner justice had, with valor armed, compelled these skipping currents to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, with furbished arms and new supplies of men, began a fresh assault. And Duncan says, dismayed not this our captains, Macbeth and Banquo? And the captain says, yes, as sparrows eagles, or the hare the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were, as cannons overcharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe, except they meant to bathe in reeking wounds, or memorize another Golgotha. I cannot tell, but I am faint, my gashes cry for help. And Duncan says, so well thy words become thee as thy wounds. They smack of honor both. Go, get 'em, surgeons. And the captain is led off by attendants. And then enter Ross and Angus. And King Duncan continues saying, who comes here? And Malcolm says, the worthy Thane of Ross. And Lennox says, what a haste that looks through his eyes. So should he look that seems to speak things strange. And Ross says, God save the king. And Duncan says, whence camest thou, worthy Thane? And Ross says, from Fife, great king, where the Norwegian banners flout the sky, and fan our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against points, rebellious arm against arm, curbing his lavish spirit. And to conclude, the victory fell upon us. And King Duncan says, great happiness. And Ross says, that now Sweno, the Norway's king, craves composition. Now would we deign him burial up his men, till he dispersed at St. Calm's Inch $10,000 to our general use. And King Duncan says, no more than that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former her title greet Macbeth. And Ross says, I'll see it done. And King Duncan says, what he has lost, noble Macbeth has won. And they exit. So the synopsis here is that Duncan, King of Scotland, hears an account of the success and battle of his noblemen Macbeth and Banquo. Duncan orders the execution of the rebel Thane of Cawdor and sends messengers to announce to Macbeth that he's been given Cawdor's title. Pretty much as the synopsis set, as Thane of Cawdor is taken out, and Macbeth is going to be given the title of the Thane of Cawdor, Macbeth and Banquo, battle, they won. The current Thane of Cawdor is about to be executed. Macbeth is about to be given that title. Well, so now let's continue into scene 3. So here's scene 3, and it says, thunder, enter the 3 witches. And the first witch says, where hast thou been, sister? And the second witch says, killing swine. And the third witch says, sister, where thou? And the first witch says, a sailor's wife had chestnuts in her lap, and munched and munched and munched. Give me, quoth I, Haroin thee, which the rum-fed Runian cries. Her husband's to Aleppo's gone, master to the tiger. But in a sieve I'll thither sail, and, like a rat without a tail, I'll do, and I'll do. And the second witch says, I'll give thee a hand. And the first witch says, thou art kind. And the third witch says, and I another. And the first witch says, I myself have all the other, and the very ports they blow. Oh, all the quarters that they know. I, the shipman's card. I'll drain him dry as hay. Sleep shall neither night nor day. Hang upon his penthouse lid. He shall live a man forbid. Weary 7 nights, it's 9 times 9. Shall he dwindle, peak, and pine? Though his bark cannot be lost, yet it shall be tempest tossed. Look what I have. And the second one says, show me, show me. And the first one says, here I have a pilot's thumb, racked as homeward he did come. And there's a drum within. And the third witch says, a drum, Macbeth doth come. And all of them start dancing in a circle, and they say, the weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about, thrice to thine and thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up 9. Peace, the charms wounds up. And then enter Macbeth and Banquo, and Macbeth says, so foul and fair a day I have not seen. And Banquo says, how far is it called to fours? What are these, so withered and so wild in their attire, that look not like the inhabitants of the earth? And yet are on't. Live you, or are you aught that hand may question? You seem to understand me. By each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips, you should be women, and yet your beards forbid me to interpret that you are so. And Macbeth says, speak if you can. What are you? And the first witch says, all hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis. And the second witch says, all hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor. And the third witch says, all hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter. And Banquo says, good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? I, the name of truth, are you fantastical, or that indeed which hourly you show? My noble partner, you greet with present grace and great prediction, of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems wrapped withal. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time, and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me, who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate. And the first witch says, hail. Oh, the second witch says hail, and the third witch says hail. And the first witch says, lesser than Macbeth and greater. The second witch says, not so happy, yet much happier. Third witch says, thou shalt get kings, though be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. And the first witch says, Banquo and Macbeth, all hail. Oh, and Macbeth says, stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Sinno's death I know I am Thane of Glamis. But how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman, and to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you. And the witches vanish. And Banquo says, the earth hath bubbles, as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished? And Macbeth says, into the air, and what seemed corporal melted, as breath into the wind, would they have stayed. And Banquo says, were such things here as we do speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the Parisian prisoner? And Macbeth says, your children shall be kings. And Banquo says, you shall be king. And Macbeth says, and Thane of Cawdor too, wants it not so? And Banquo says, to the self-same tune and words, who's here? And then enter Ross and Angus. And Ross says, the king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal adventure in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend, which should be thine or his. Silenced with that, in viewing o'er the rest the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, nothing afeard of what thyself didst make. Strange images of death, as thick as tale, came post with post, and every one did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defence, and poured them down before him. And Angus said, we are sent, to give thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sights, not pay thee. And and Ross says, and for an earnest of a great her honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition, hail, most worthy Thane, for it is time. And Banquo says, what, can the devil speak true? And Macbeth says, the Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes? And Angus says, who was the Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose, whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wrack, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him. Macbeth, aside, that means to the audience, says, Glamis and Thane of Cawdor, the greatest is behind. And then to Ross and Angus, thanks for your pains. And aside to Banquo, do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them? And Banquo says, that, trusted home, might yet enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes, to win us to our harm, the instruments of darkness tell us truths. With us, with honest trifles, to betrays, in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you. And they step aside. And Macbeth aside, it again, and like I said, at this talk, the audience, or even to himself, when they say aside in the story. But nevertheless, aside, he says, as two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme, I thank you, gentlemen. And then aside again, he says, this supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion, whose horrid image doth unfix my hair, and make my seated heart knock at my ribs, against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thoughts, whose murder yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man. My apologies. Shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in sunrise, and nothing is but what is not. And Banquo says, look how our partners wrapped. And Macbeth aside again says, if chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my stir. And Banquo says, new honors come upon him, like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use. And Macbeth aside once again says, come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day. And Banquo, I should say, says, worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure. And Macbeth says, give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. And aside to Banquo, he says, think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having weighed it, let us speak our free hearts to each other, each to other. And Banquo says, very gladly. And then Macbeth says, till then, enough. Come, friends. And they exit. So pretty much the synopsis here says, the three witches greet Macbeth as Thane of Glamis, as he is, Thane of Cawdor, and King hereafter. They then promise Banquo that he will father kings, and they disappear. Almost as soon as they are gone, Ross and Angus arrive with news that the king has named Macbeth Thane of Cawdor. Macbeth contemplates killing Duncan in order to become king hereafter, as the witches have called him. So once he hears the promise of what he's supposed to become from the witches, it immediately goes to his head. He's like, I'm Thane of Glamis. I'm about to be Thane of Cawdor, and I'm about to be king. I wonder if I can speed up the process. That's pretty much Macbeth's thought process, and it's not the last time. I'm of course, the witches' prophecies, what they're speaking, and will come to pass within the story, but it will also be a major part of the story, and I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about if you've read Macbeth before, but if you haven't, stay tuned because it's gonna be interesting. But for now, Macbeth hath is confused at first, like Thana Cawdor. How am I Thana Cawdor? Or I'm already Thana Glamis. When am I going to become Thana Cawdor? And that's when Ross and Angus shows up. They pretty much tell him what's going on. That the current Thana Cawdor is about to be executed because of his betrayal. Also now Macbeth's about to be in his place, realizing that what the witches are saying are coming true. Like I'm about to be, I'm already Thana Glamis. I'm about to be Thana Cawdor, and now I'm about to be king. So, Macbeth is thinking about it, and will his greed cost him? We're gonna find out. But for now, let's move into scene 4. So, um, so, we started saying flourish. Enter King Duncan, Lennox, Malcolm, Donalbain, and attendants. And King Duncan says, "Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?" And Malcolm says, "My liege, they are not yet come back, but I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, I should say. Ooh, jeez. Implored your highness's pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like believing it. He died as one that had been studied in his death to throw away the dearest thing he owed, as 'twere a careless trifle." And King Duncan says, "There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust." And then enter Macbeth, Banquo, Ross, and Angus. And King Duncan continues saying, "O worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me. Thou art so far before, that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee, but thou hast less deserved, that the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay." And Macbeth says, "The service and the loyalty I owe, in doing it pays itself. Your highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state children and servants, which do but what that they should be doing everything, in safe towards your love and honor." And King Duncan says, "Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, thou hast no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so. So let me enfold thee, and hold thee to my heart." And Banquo says, "There, if I grow, the harvest is your own." And King Duncan says, "My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose place are the nearest, know we will establish our estate upon our eldest Malcolm, who we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland, which honor must not accompany invest him only, but signs of nobleness, like stars, shall shine on all deservers, from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you." And Macbeth says, "The rest labor which is not used for you. I'll be myself in the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave." And King Duncan says, "My worthy Cawdor." And Macbeth aside says, "The Prince of Cumberland, that is a step on which I must fall down or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye wink at the hand, yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see." And he exits. And Duncan says, "True, worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman." And flourish, they exit. So the synopsis here is his Duncan demands and receives assurances that the former Thane of Cawdor has been executed, and when Macbeth, Banquo, Ross, and Angus join Duncan, he offers thanks to Macbeth and Banquo. He then announces his intentions to have his son Malcolm succeed him as king, and his plan to visit Macbeth at Inverness. Macbeth sets out ahead of him to prepare for the royal visit. Now that Malcolm has been named Duncan's successor, Macbeth is convinced that he can become king only by killing Duncan. And yep, so Macbeth is up to some schemes already. So upon hearing this news, Macbeth is like, "Oh no, his son's supposed to be successor. which makes sense. But he's like, oh, his son's supposed to be a successor. That's a problem. Because I'm supposed to be king, not him, me. I don't care if he's a successor, or I'm supposed to be king, not him. So, Macbeth pretty much has got to get him out the way, saying he's got to be taken care of. So, now not only is he going to fully take care of King Duncan, but now it looks like he's going to take care of Malcolm as well. And I think you know what I mean when I say take care of. And he even says, as don't let the light shine upon my dark deeds. So at least he knows it's wrong what he's about to do. At least he has that level of self-awareness. But yeah, so Macbeth is scheming. He definitely wants to be the king, and he's going to stop at nothing to do it. But also, of course, the Thane of Cawdor is executed. He is dead. So now, Macbeth is about to take his place. Things are starting to develop. Macbeth is about to become the Thane, and but now he's scheming. He doesn't just want that; he wants more. And he's gonna get it. Let's find out as we move into scene 5. So, it starts off saying, enter Macbeth's wife alone with a letter. And Lady Macbeth, reading the letter, says, they met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest reports that they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air, into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me, and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail, King that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightest not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. And now that Lady Macbeth's done reading, she says, Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be, what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, art not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily, wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou didst have, great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do, if thou have it. If thou have it, I should say. And that which rather thou dost fear to do, that then wishest should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. And then enter the messenger, and Lady Macbeth says, what is your tidings? And the messenger says, the king comes here tonight. And Lady Macbeth says, thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him? Who hurt so would have informed for preparation? And the messenger says, so please you, it is true, our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, has scarcely more than would make up his message. And Lady Macbeth says, give him tending. Give him tending. He brings good news. Brings great news, I should say. He brings great news. And the messenger exits, and Lady Macbeth continues saying, the raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan. Under my battlements, come, you spirits, that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of durest cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts, and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pall thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, or heaven peep through the blanket of the dark, to cry, hold, hold, and then enter Macbeth. And Lady Macbeth continues saying, great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all hell hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant. And Macbeth says, "My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight." And Lady Macbeth says, when goes hence?" And Macbeth says, "Tomorrow," as he purposes. As the Lady Macbeth says, "Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thane, is as a book where men may read strange matters, to beguile the time. Look like the time. Bear a welcome in your eye. Your hand, your tongue, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom." And Macbeth says, "We will speak further." And Lady Macbeth says, "Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me." And they exit. So the synopsis here is Lady Macbeth reads her husband's letter about his meeting with the witches, and she fears that Macbeth lacks the ruthlessness he needs to kill Duncan and fulfill the witch's second prophecy. When she learns that Duncan is coming to visit, she calls upon supernatural agents to fill her with cruelty. Macbeth arrives, and Lady Macbeth tells him that she will take charge of the preparations for Duncan's visit and for his murder. Great! So now Lady Macbeth's in on it too. She pretty much reads the letter and is like, all right, hey, you're about to be king, so let's get rid of him. So, glad they're on the same page, I guess. Real romance, like it's kind of, it is a bit romantic in kind of a twisted kind of way that she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna help my husband murder this king so that he can become king." It's the thought that counts, but she's pretty much asking to be filled with cruelty, filled with venom, so that she may kill King Duncan and put her husband in his place. So Macbeth, of course, returns home, and she's telling him, "Hey, treat him normally, like treat him how he's expecting to be treated. He's king and everything, so he's coming at the house tonight. He's supposed to leave tomorrow, but he ain't leaving the house. I'll treat him like he's supposed to be treated, how he's expecting to be treated. Being king and everything, and make sure he doesn't suspect a thing. He's not gonna suspect a thing, and then we're gonna take him out pretty much. So they're gonna lull him into a false sense of security, and then take him out. King Duncan, if you're watching this, run, which obviously is not. And we'll find out why. Hey, at least later on, because now we move into scene 6. So, so it starts off saying, "Hot boys and torches. Enter King Duncan, Malcolm, Donalbain, Banquo, Lennox, Macduff, Ross, Angus, and attendants, and a partridge in a pear tree." Man, that's a lot of people. But nevertheless, as Duncan starts saying, "This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air, nimbly and sweetly, recommends itself unto our gentle senses." And Banquo says, "This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet does approve, by his love masonry, that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jutty, frieze, buttress, nor her coign of vantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed in Procrean cradle, where they most breed and haunt, I have observed. The air is delicate." And then enter Lady Macbeth, and King Duncan says, see our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometime is our trouble, which still we think as love, I should say. Excellent. Oh, yeah, there we go. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God us for your pains, and thank us for your trouble. And Lady Macbeth says, "All our service, in every point twice done, and then done double. We're poor and single business to contend against those honors deep and broad wherewith your majesty loads our house, for those of old, and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits." And King Duncan says, where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose, to be his purveyor, but he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath helped him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guests tonight." And Lady Macbeth says, "Your servants ever have themselves, and what is theirs in common, to make their audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own." And King Duncan says, "Give me your hand." And he takes her hand, and he says, "Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. But at your leave, hostess." And they exit. So pretty much the synopsis is Duncan and his attendants arrive at Inverness, and Lady Macbeth welcomes them. So kind of a short or almost kind of throwaway scene, kind of just to establish, all right, King Duncan's there. So now how the plan is about to be set in motion. King Duncan has arrived. I've in Inverness at Macbeth's place. So let's see what kind of royal welcome he will get. Well, I mean, we already saw it, but you know what I mean. But now we move into the final scene for Act 1 here, and where we'll leave off afterward. And this is scene 7. And so so it starts saying, "Hot boys, torches. Enter enter a sewer, I should say, and divers servants with dishes and service over the stage. Then enter Macbeth." And Macbeth says, "If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well. If it were done quickly, if the assassination could tremble up the consequence and catch, with the Sir Hersey's success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here. But here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which, being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, or not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued, against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity, like a naked newborn babe, striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, or shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself, and falls on the other." And then enter Lady Macbeth. And then Macbeth says, "How now? What news?" And Lady Macbeth says, "He has almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?" And Macbeth says, "Hath he asked for me?" And Lady Macbeth says, "Know you not he has?" And Macbeth says, "We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon." And Lady Macbeth says, "Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now, to look so green and pale, and what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valor as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that at which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the age? And Macbeth says, "Prithee, peace. I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none." And Lady Macbeth says, "What beast wasn't then, and that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man, and to be more than you were, you would be so much more the man. Nor time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums, and dashed the brains out, had I so sworn as you have done to this." And Macbeth says, "If we should fail," and Lady Macbeth says, "We fail, but screw your courage to the sticking place, and will not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his day's hard journey soundly invite him, his 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince, that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason, a limbeck only, when in swinish sleep, I should say, their drenched natures lies as in a death, What cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell? And Macbeth says, "Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy two of his own chamber and used their very daggers that they have done it?" And Lady Macbeth says, "Who dares receive it other? As we shall make our griefs and clamor roar upon his death." And Macbeth says, "I am settled and bent up, and I am settled and bend up, each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away, and mock the time with fair show. False face must hide what the false hearth doth know." And they exit. So um, the synopsis here is that Macbeth contemplates the reasons why it's a terrible thing to kill Duncan. Lady Macbeth mocks his fears and offers a plan for Duncan's murder, to which Macbeth accepts. So we see Macbeth starting to have second thoughts, which I guess Macbeth picked both the best and worst time to have the second thoughts, because as he and his wife have already talked about this, and the king's already there, but now you're starting to have second thoughts. It's like, but I've been so loyal to him, and we're cool. I can't do it. And Macbeth pretty much like tries to snap him out of it. It like hey, pretty much being like, man, you're trying to turn away now, all this that you've been promised, being coming Thane of Cawdor, and now about to be king, you're about to throw it all away for some feelings for him? Are you crazy? You so she then offers the plan, essentially to kill the king with his guard's own dagger, so that they'll feel guilty about it. And Macbeth's like screw it, let's go for it. We're already in too deep. So we'll see whether that plan goes through. Will it go through? We'll find out at least later on, because this is the end of not only Act 1, but also the end of this episode. So, tune in next week for her Act 2 as we continue Macbeth. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends, turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts on the reading so far, and on Macbeth, and where you think the story will go. And an interesting question for you all. If you were in Macbeth's situation, what would you do? But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.